Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo and this is the Imperial British campaign in our wonderful Man the Guns series. We have recently made a rather sizable landing in Spain. We are okay on supply, but I think about an hour ago we might see a slightly different situation. Yeah, problematic in the north until Valencia falls, but it is under attack by some of our finest marine divisions that the Empire has to offer. And there are troops rolling in from the south, tanks rolling in from the north. We're rapidly moving to secure this river. Which is this river? I don't think I know what that one's called. In the south, we're rapidly advancing. Gibraltar has been liberated, which is excellent news. It means I can fly some more planes straight in there. I know I've got, yeah, there we go, 300 CAS who have been just exercising over Italy. What is that place called? Egypt. Who are ready and waiting to get in here. I think we can afford some of our Biscay fighters to be deployed as well. Okay, let's carry on the push. The time is not yet right for the Mexican return. I want to try and steal their navy if possible. Everyone just continue advancing. We've got AI battle plans active right now because we're facing no serious resistance. And I just want the men to keep advancing all the way along the line. I want to make sure as well everyone is set to the highest aggression levels in executing these battle plans. Good. Valencia falling extremely shortly. Let's begin proper infantry offensive on that from the south. Some of you guys coming here. Another air base there. It's going to be very helpful. And we'll push inland another air base here to capture. Lots of air bases in Spain. That's interesting. Amphibious tanks should be able to make short work of these river crossings. Let's look at their crossing. Wow! The only penalty for a river crossing for these guys is 5% breakthrough. That is nice. These guys are going to be really useful to use in things like the German campaign against the Soviet Union in multiplayer. If someone like turtles up or something, tries to hold the river, they would be really helpful for that. I'm looking forward to trying that. Okay, crushing in here. We've gone across the river here, which was not my intent. But now it's happened. We might as well push past it some more if we can inflict casualties while we do it. I'd like to try and encircle and destroy some of these Romanian divisions that are getting in my way. We will continue just to push in for the capitulation as well. Taking these victory points as fast as we can. We don't need... no need to delay. Good, we got them out of that port there. If we can crush in behind them here, that would be excellent. Fantastic. One thing we definitely need to start working on is modern tanks. Our tank divisions might be armored enough now to face the Germans. We've got 78 armor on our basic armor division when it's fully armored up. And the enemy piercing is only 29 on them, but it's been higher. It's definitely been higher than that in the past, so I'm not convinced it will remain that low. But for now, we're looking pretty good. Another airbase captured, not room for another 400 planes. I think I'll send in some of the less good CAS, some of the older models in there. And it looks like we actually have room for a ton more planes in here now. Superb. Let's do that, and then one of these guys can operate here. Good. There we go. They have air supremacy because they're deploying just an ungodly number of fighters. But I want to keep fighting them. And we've got AA. Do we have AA in our... Yeah, we have at least some AA in our infantry as well. Which is, yeah, fully upgraded. We should probably get some better infantry. Oh, okay. The Italians are committing hard to this offensive in the north. Fall back. Fall back, fall back. So we're seeing the full Italian force deploying here. This is very problematic. But I think we're going to be able, hopefully, to crush in fast enough to still get the capitulation from the south. We'll see. What that means, however, is that I need my extra tanks. I'm still final supply. I need my extra tanks deployed immediately in the north. To counter that huge influx. We need to be able to establish a good defensive line before we find ourselves bogged down facing the Italian army. We know the strength of that Italian army. We do not want to face it without a serious tactical advantage on our side. We've got Zaragoza, which is certainly a good step on the way. I'm going to keep these guys pushing east while I have perhaps him move north. Alright, there we go. Good. We can get rid of these. Okay, how are we doing in the south? Good. That pocket is looking like we might be able to pull it off. We can just hurry it up here. The more of their air bases we take, of course, the worse we can make their mission efficiency get. We should also begin construction of a forward operating base. We'll get a radar and a... God, there's so many Italian divisions here. They are very low organization for now, though, so we can push them back for now. We're able to hold them off. Yeah, there we go. Even with huge numbers of divisions in the province, because they're all strat redeploying in, we can push them back. Let's deploy aggressively against them over here to try and keep them in that vulnerable situation for as long as possible, while more tanks deploy to the front. Good, yeah, see, they're pouring in here. If we could just crush up there while they're busy pouring in like this, we could find ourselves in a superb situation where we could pocket a huge portion of the Italian armed forces. Got a okay, some attempted raids on our crossings here, it looks like, but unsuccessful. A Madrid capture right now would be just superb, because that could potentially capitulate these guys. They are rocking pretty high stability. We're going to have to take them all the way to the door and kick them through to get them to actually surrender, but that's all right. We can do that. You get in there. Okay, I want tanks heavily prioritized in the northern section. Good. Looks like that pocket is more or less all but complete. Let's get in here and cross from this side of the river using those amphibious tanks to negate river crossing penalty. Open up a bit of extra frontage. Someone just grab that tile. Keep pushing forwards. Good. I'm just trying to keep them busy up here. We are now getting German medium tanks arriving, which is not good. They're not spectacular divisions, but they are nevertheless highly, highly dangerous. Let's see if we can push in here. We just need to break a couple of their infantry divisions before people get involved. Okay, we've got another room for another 400 planes. I'm going to start diverting planes from the channel. This is of critical importance right now, as I'm sure I don't need to tell you. This is a very successful naval invasion so far, but we need to press home the advantage before the enemy digs in and gets any kind of entrenchment on a defensive position. As long as we have these just rolling smashes representing our advance, we're in good shape. Yeah, they're getting a lot of divisions down here now. Let's get these pockets in the south closed up so I can free up some men elsewhere. Zaragoza briefly undefended there. We are managing to push even further in this direction, which is excellent. Let's get me more tanks. You guys, I want all you guys right here. We're gonna crush up this river, whether they like it or not. They're moving in here. I think I'm gonna grab some Marines to start establishing some preemptive defensive lines to cover our back while we continue advancing west into the actual country itself. So let's be having these guys on that river as soon as possible. Good. Okay, meanwhile, the push for Madrid continues. Toledo holding quite well, unfortunately. Down here in the south, that pocket is closed. I'm going to send my marine divisions up north to assist this front. They've got some nice stats, quite apart from their river crossing ability, so you know, it should be helpful to have them up there. Okay, keep pinning them here while the tanks crush in towards the capital is invaluable work. Okay, we need... Sorry, that music's just slightly too loud. Let me turn that down a bit. Plane-wise, we've got them to yellow air, which is superb. I could have... Yeah, we should probably prioritize planes onto actual Spain itself for a bit, rather than the seas onto Iberia itself, that is. Still making good ground down here. Okay, Madrid. Damn. The troops got to Madrid just before we did, it looks like. They're still relatively low orged, so a sustained offensive might be able to pull off a win there. If we can close it off, I suppose this isn't a bad defensive line, and then we can threaten them with encirclement to the north. That could work. Let's see if I can push them back a bit further down in the south. Would be nice. Would be very nice. Some support attacks here. Where's the airbase? Isn't there an airbase, big airbase around here? Is it here? I know there's a big airbase in this state. I really want to take that off them before they can use it against me. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Give me those river crossing units here. There's quite a lot of rivers defending Madrid for them right now. Good. My Marines did deploy in time. Let's make sure we don't get our tanks encircled by launching some counterattacks here to pin this guy in place. Good. He should be able to get out of there now. Nice. No, just straight back across the river. Cancel those counters. Okay, so we're still pushing up here quite nicely, which is good. Obviously, if we can cut them off in the north, that'll be superb, because we're going to be able to raid the bejesus out of them here. Let's redeploy the entire Mediterranean raiding force to the Bay of Biscay, which is the only place they're going to be able to get supply from if we can cut them off here. So you guys, I need to raid Biscay, please. Good. Okay, down in the south, still looking okay in many places. If we can cross north of Madrid, that would be excellent in terms of planning for a future attack on the city. Plus, it brings us one step closer to that air base, wherever it actually is. Try them back there. Yeah, you just retreat across, that's fine. Okay, supply, still looking good. That's always lovely to see. Holding in the south, making slow progress here. Driven them back again. There we go, yeah. We're winning these pretty handily just because they're all showing up with really low org, and because we've got this huge full frontal assault, we're keeping them on the back foot quite successfully. And we are now armored when fighting proper, full-strength German divisions, which is an excellent change over our earlier problems. Give me some more frontage on that attack. Got a lot of org in there, but if we can just break these two before they can reinforce. They're not running signal companies. So there we go, broken them. Nice. They've immediately reinforced with another army, unfortunately. And I need the tanks to be the spearhead of this attack, otherwise we don't have the damage to smash through that we really need. So let's relaunch that with tanks. Yeah, once we've got the tanks on the front line, that's when we start hitting them hard. Okay, we've managed to cross with a huge marine force here. Excellent. I'll have half of those assist in the attack here. And the amphibious tanks can join the offensive to Madrid. Looks like we're going to be successful in our taking of that glorious city. Alright, we've advanced another line with the tanks. That's great. We're starting to get into hill and mountain terrain up here, which is obviously going to be very hard going for our tanks. So let's hold off on that further offensives there just for a second. Oh baby. Okay, if I could break them here actually, that would be highly preferable. There is a fort there, sadly. Not a huge fort though, and we've broken them behind anyway. Keep up the offensive, don't let them reorg. Just constant offensives. Starting with the tanks and the larger divisions. No, not going to break them there. Let's call that off. Okay. But Madrid has fallen into our hands, which is excellent. That's a lot of factories denied the Spanish. Perhaps a more effective strategy would have been a simultaneous invasion here and here, with the primary goal of tanks just rushing in. If we get driven back, which don't worry, I'm not resigning myself to just yet, but if we get driven back, in the relatively likely scenario where we get driven back, that might be what we try next time. But we're establishing good front lines here. We might be able to adopt some strong defensive positions, which could result in future victories. If we've got a good defensive line for a lot of the north, Obviously, I'd like to get... I mean, if we could get here, that seems fairly attainable right now. That would be a nice defensive line. And yeah, they're very vulnerable to a naval invasion of Bilbao, perhaps. That could be good. If we can hold here, launch a naval invasion landing here in Bilbao, that would give a huge supply mass over here, because their control of edge provinces would be garbage, and their route efficiency is going to be terrible, because we're going to raid the bejesus out of them in Biscay. Yeah, that could work. That could work. Let's get some Marines assisting this river crossing here. Pushing them in the mountains of Mugs game. Let's just go past them. This way. Hold. This way. Okay. Excuse me. You gentlemen. If you'd go... Oh, I've still got active battle plans. We should call those off. Okay, you guys. You can go this way, please. Thank you. And Marines moving in. Taking up positions in those freshly taken mountains. Excellent. Dangerous attacks over here. So this is where the danger comes. The Germans are beginning their kind of full brunt offensive here. I will, I think, throw up some forts here if they let me have time to do that. Damn, Zaragoza Air Base is actually on the other side there. Is the radar at least on this side? Looks like I can build radar here, but I'm concerned the radar might be in their area. So instead, I'll build it... well, we've already got full radar coverage, actually. Let's see if that's being represented here. 50% radar coverage, 50%... Yeah, we actually have full radar coverage of this region already, so we don't need any in the area. Anti-air in these states could still be valuable. And in fact, we could probably shred the Axis Air Force by maxing out the anti-air in this whole region. It's such a huge region they're going to be throwing so many planes at. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to annihilate the Axis Air Force with anti-air alone. It's going to be amazing. I mean, not alone. It's going to be heavily supported by conventional air forces, but anti-air force as the primary driver. Cut them back there. Got them here. Nice. Look at that. My Marines beating the German Panzer Division. That's the strength of not letting them fight on their home terrain. Free... Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell happened to my iron? How is this one... How are they all short of iron? That makes no sense. Alright, well, give me some more. US and China. Okay, and then... we've gathered a bunch more steel here in Spain that we can make use of. And have we captured any steel in Tibet by any chance? No. Shame. Look at that. Our raiding is being much more effective now against the Japanese, and our mines are going up at quite a rate. Look at that. That's great. What are you? Bunch of miners. I think what I'll do for that is just say, hey, you miners, you want to have 100 mining ships. Good. So this screen, why are you deploying in there? No, you're a scout. You're needed in the med. Okay. Cutting in here, okay. See if we can add a bit more strength to that defense there. Of course, we'd rather stay on the offensive as much as possible. So let's do that. Yeah, since that northern push has stagnated a little, let's spread the tanks more south. In fact, we're probably just going to spread them perfectly evenly now across the whole front. We don't have a particular place I want the tanks to be. Let me just check. We got... No one's, like, bugged out or anything and left the front. No. What do you... Yeah, okay. I thought it might... I don't know what... I just had a feeling that maybe we had a few less men than we were supposed to. Is everyone... Okay, some of them are still here on the correct front line. I don't know how that happened, but I felt like I had one too few attack plans. These guys, unfortunately, to avoid you being able to... Okay, no, I can do that. Good. You guys can all go through Cadiz. All of you that can, go to Cadiz. Good. Except you. You can stay up here. Alright. Carry on that offensive. Good. Tanks can go here. Can be crushed straight in there would be great. Though don't leave your back completely uncovered. Okay, so free mills. Do we really have an infantry equipment deficit? It seems unbelievably unlikely. No, we don't. Although we are burning through infantry equipment at quite a rate. So let's put some more on high priority, you know, actually with steel infantry equipment production. Am I deploying these in infinite by mistake? I am indeed. Well, we don't really need these marines. And I haven't got any room for them in these armies. Actually, that's not true. I have room for one in this army. Who should probably all be on this front. This attack plan. Go, go! There we go. Good. These guys all have all of them assigned, don't they? There's only 6 divisions on yours, but that's okay. There's only 6 of you. So I do have these other 18 tanks. And, I mean, supply is now becoming an issue. It's not much of an issue in the north, though. So you know what? Yeah, give me another 16 tank divisions in here. Let's cause some damage, shall we? Tank divisions are red. Good. And what is the supply shortage here? Oh, wartime election. No, we'll just have an election. It's fine. Get some more communists and fascists, and then we'll clamp down on communism and fascism. It's fine. It's political power for stability. I'm absolutely fine with that. Okay, we got some more free marines here. Yeah, I mean, marines in the naval tank army makes perfect sense. We'll want to be using those together, so that's fine. Let's be having you up here, helping with river crossings and future landings and stuff like that. It looks like there's a potential. Push them back another step here. Let's even out our pocket here. Make it harder for them to come behind us and cause problems. You guys can get in there. We'll be able to do perhaps a little quick and dirty pocket here. That would be good. Being driven back from the other side of it though, so let's send some reinforcements in there. Try and hold that open. German medium tanks in the area, of course, are going to be causing problems. Let's cut in here as well. Gonna be able to drive them back? Not quite, not quite. Okay, let's use these. Oh, there's atomic research. Nice. Go straight on to reactors. If we could have nukes to pull this kind of thing off, it would be great. We could have made Spain capitulate extremely easily. Go, go, go! Actually, maybe I could cut north for a more effective pocket here. Like this. That could work. Yeah, get him here and here. Pocket some German tanks. Go, go, go! Sounds good to me. Alright, you guys, no attacking them there. I'm gonna let them sit there and get pocketed. That's fine. But yeah, throwing anti-air up all the way across here is, you know, if you excuse my self-congratulation, inspired. It's going to work really well. They're diverting planes away from the channel. Oh, we should have had more ground crews on the channel already. Yeah, let's be seeing some more superb, experienced fighters over here. And yeah, sure, let's give them a bunch of aces as well. Make sure they're fighting at peak efficiency. We've got a lot of aces I could be deploying right now. Let's we should probably take the time to do that. Obviously the air war over Spain is critical to our success in the theatre, so seems worth it. I will do it in between episodes because it's going to take me a minute here. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been a great pleasure. Wish me luck for the future invasion of Spain. It's been going pretty well so far, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.